So, starting off with some deload tempo bench for to end off week 4 of the meaty bulk. I don't know what else to call the next series, but we will come up with something. But yeah, it's been a very, very good. What is it? 12-week block. You know, got some PRs, got some good progression going. So all's been well. It's just like deload really. So going super light today. But also to do with my shoulder. My left shoulder hasn't been feeling the greatest. So to avoid injury or anything to strain it, I have just gone light today. Not going very intense. I'm just trying to avoid what happened with my leg. So it's like I'm not gonna be so stupid. But overall bench, it's mid. You know, it's not the best. It's not the worst. You know, it's ever been. But well, it's the worst it's ever been. But I'd definitely say it's alright. You know, nothing. You know, scoff at, but yeah, all's gone well with bench today. Nothing special really. So yeah, on to cable flies. I didn't do dumbbells today primarily because shoulder yet again. So I decided to do some flies. So like with this, I would go below what would necessarily hurt my shoulder. So like I'm taking my shoulder completely out of the movement. I am fixating on getting my chest to contract and push forward. I'm not using much of my shoulder at all. And yeah, this is the kind of form I use. You know, where it's like picturing just like squeezing and then letting go of my chest, you know. I feel like this fully takes out the parts where it's like, oh, my shoulders are a bit fatigued today or something like that. You know, it takes out that part that might be, you know, straining your chest gains or whatever the fuck you want to call it. Because I will say I don't have the best chest in the world, but neither do a lot of people. But I'll definitely say through this slight technique and picturing this movement in such a way, I've been able to contract and get more out of the movement than if I were to just leave it and basically do fuck all with the movement and just like let it be. But in a other sense, we're on to cable lateral raises, Y raises as some people like to call it. Very light on these. I did 4 sets, but I'll only show you 2 just to save you. So like with this, I go from like say 7.5 kilos on the cable to around 5 to then 3. So like it's more of a drop set than anything. So it's more fatiguing on the muscle, and I make sure I have that control on the way down, and then I go back up. So like I'm not putting my ego into it. So I get more of that muscle fatigue, that stimulus to make the muscle grow. And I'll be honest, it has worked if you've seen my shoulders. But onto the very thing that I neglected when I started the gym, my triceps. And yes, I neglected triceps. Before you call me many names, I didn't know at the time. So like I believe for probably a year I neglected triceps to the point where my triceps were the lacking part. Now through skull crushes, doing these push downs, doing some extensions, I've been able to build more muscle in my tricep and more strength. and I think that's contributed to a lot of my, bench gains and everything. So definitely by doing these movements, I've been able to, increase my tricep. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out that you need to go a bit heavy sometimes with your tricep, to get that strength, and then do the more fatiguing bits, in some other way. But onto back, lat pull down. This didn't really feel great, primarily because I don't know what was wrong with me. It's just like I just want moving with it, because I tend to be fairly good at lat pull down, where it's like my muscle connection's there. There's not much in the way of trying to get the contraction or anything, because what I usually do is I almost fully extend, but I keep the tension and then I pull fully down, and that would typically get that pump and stimulus feeling. But today it wasn't really that good, so I don't know what's happening there, but I'll figure it out at some point. It's not the end of the world, because as you'll see, I'll do lat pullovers after I've done these rows. So with these rows, I'll only show 2, primarily because they're not that entertaining. My workouts aren't that entertaining when it comes to this bit. It's just doing the same movement over and over, try and stimulate everything. But yeah, rows, trying to picturesque, squeezing and then slowly lowering it down. That's typically how I try it. Sometimes I don't usually feel anything until I'm home and I haven't got that adrenaline in my system, but today it felt solid. It was okay, but overall, the whole I don't know, is it trapezius muscle? I can't remember, but the traps were stimulated today. But as I said, we're going on to lat pullovers. So I decided to do some lat pullovers primarily because I felt like lat pull down was a bit shit today. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna do some lat pullovers to stimulate my lats and everything. With this, my friend recommended it, and also I've seen it be done by Urs, who is the classic physique Olympia from Germany. So he typically does this movement with this sort of handle, and I'll definitely say it does work for your upper lat, which I'm trying to, I'm also trying to get wider, but I'm trying to fill in the lower part of my lats. So that's what a lat pull down would typically go, but it wasn't really that stimulating today, so it'll be fine anyway. But yeah, on to preach curls, which is the last thing I do. I'll only show you 2 sets, primarily because I did 2 sets of 16 kilos each arm, and then I went down to 12 once I got a bit more fatigue. So with this, I would help myself, up with the weight once it gets to, that point where I can't do it by myself. So not only am I safe with it, I am, pushing a bit further than failure. But yeah, and then I would drop the weight and then go again, do the same thing. It's what's been able to stimulate my bicep growth for a solid ass while. If you've seen my videos, I always say preach curl's the best, and I do believe that. I will die on that hill. And if anyone has a different opinion, they can have their different opinion, but in my society, your opinion is wrong. But overall, workout was okay. It wasn't the best, of course. Not all workouts are your best, but I can definitely say full-heartedly I put my effort in, and I at least showed up. It's all about showing up at the end of the day. But yeah, workout was great, and now onto some posing, which I will commentate over. So you'll see me in the tank, trying to show off the legs, feel like my legs are quite proportionate to my upper body currently. So like I've got quite alright quads. I've got okay upper body, you know. So yeah, going to the front double. Um, looks okay. Yeah, yeah. And then I take my shirt off, of course. Who doesn't take their shirt off? And then I go into a couple back poses. So like, the quarter Arnold, I don't know what you call that one with the, back and everything. But then you do the lat spread and then back double bicep. Then you go onto the David Lage poses, as people like to call them. And yeah, I try the, what is it? Mensa pose as well. So it's like, yeah. But yeah, solid over all over. So that was today's workout. Today's topic's going to be a bit of a melancholy one, but I was speaking with my mum just right now, and everything. She wasn't feeling the greatest, and it's got me thinking, how it feels really in day-to-day life, Like, I get why people go to uni and everything to stay young and not have the responsibility. Like, a person like me, all I do is I go to work, gym, and that's practically it. So, like, I have MMA, I have archery. Didn't know that, but did you? But yeah, I go to gym, MMA, and archery. And that is as far as I go. Like, honestly, do I ever like try and go out and meet other people? No. Because for one, I don't know how to. So yeah. And yeah. It's pretty lonely, life currently. Like, I'm very lonely now, There's a reason why I know now that I held on to my old relationship so much, is because I had someone that would text me every day, how's your day? And all this. Even if it may have not meant much, as in like they didn't really care or whatever. I had that, and now all I do is work, gym, edits at home. I'm practically at home all the time. I'm doing not much, like it's very lonely. You know how they say there's like 8 billion people in the world. It certainly doesn't feel like it. Like, I'm pretty sure some people can relate to how alone life is. Like, even some people at uni, where it's just like they go to classes and then they go home. That's lonely. And yeah, you start to think, what is life really about, Which is, when I'm in these moments, I start thinking, what's my life really worth? What is the point? Which there isn't much point in total logistics for me existing. But it's what you make of life that truly matters. And I'll be honest, just like my mum, I sometimes put myself out there to try and, meet new people, but don't work sometimes, like, the times I've been to different gyms, that's to put myself out there, myself out of my comfort zone, because granted, going to different gyms in my area and outside my area I don't like doing it because it's so irregular to me. Hence why I've stuck with my gym for so long. You think I would have not stayed in that gym if it weren't for my friends that are there? If I had no friends at that gym, I would have moved gyms within a year. Like, if I'm being completely honest, if I didn't have my friends, I'd have moved to a better gym with better equipment. But you see, the only thing keeping me there is my friends. If I had zero friends, I would have left. Because I find with other gyms, it's like so lonely as well. Like, people don't talk to each other, they just like get on with their workout and then fuck off. Which, honestly, most of them will have the face of a slapped ass, but yeah. It's weird nowadays because people are so chronically online, they don't, interact in person. And yeah, even the people that are so like out there and everything, they're not really, them kind of people that I want to hang around with, because I'm not a drinker, I don't vape, I don't do drugs, I don't do all this stuff that most people do my age. I'm 19. I go to a gym, I work. That's practically most of my days, and it's like insanity almost. And the only good moments I like, actual like highlights I get, is like when I PR or gain more size, that kind of thing. But it gets to a point where it's like, what am I doing this for? And then I suppose with your like loneliness, it's more like, am I really that bad of a person? You start criticizing your own character, because I know deep down I'm not a bad person. If I'm insulting somebody, it's likely just because I'm joking. Because I'm more of I like poking fun at people as a joke, and I poke fun at myself. So it goes both ways. But some people don't like that, which is fair enough. Not everyone has the comedic level that I have, which I have the average Instagram user comedic level. So, yeah. I suppose that's why I'm also like chronically online sometimes. Like, in my spare time, where I'm not doing anything, I'm on my phone, man. I'll be honest, I'm on my phone. I'm scrolling through Instagram to try and find new ideas for memes and everything. And I'm looking at Sam Sulek videos, I'm looking at all these other videos, for entertainment purposes. Yet, I don't have that opportunity that I had in college to meet people. College was the highlight of my life, and I will say that regardless of anything, because I was very happy in college. My second year in college was probably the best year of my life. My grades were going up. I got a girlfriend. I felt more connected with my friends. And ever since that drop off, it's been like, what do I do? That's probably why people say you peaked in high school and all this, and now it's like just a boring task to stay alive and everything. Because you do truly peak in like high school and college. Genuinely. And that's why people stay in like university and colleges and all this. And I get it. Life sucks. You have to get a job that you likely won't like. You have to, find something out there, even though some of the people out there aren't the greatest, so you gotta pick them up. Like, I understand why people I understand, but I won't do it, why people self-delete themselves. Like, I understand because I've been on that edge since I was 10, because I felt like life isn't really worth living, because what am I actually here for? Nothing. Just here to exist. Which is why I say life's a matter of perspective, because you gotta see with purpose, because I don't have purpose at the moment, I'll be honest. I don't have much drive in me. My parents are in their 50s and everything, and I know in like the next 30 years I likely won't have parents anymore. Well, within that time frame. And what will happen when they go? What will I have? I might have nothing. But I've got to keep moving, because yeah, life sucks and it kicks you in the balls, but life's worth living when you try and do the things you enjoy. So like the gym. I'm hopefully gonna get a new job, so I will have more disposable income at my, disposal. And hopefully through that I'll be able to go places, to different gyms potentially, or something like that. Because staying in one place and doing the same thing over and over again is just insanity, and expecting different results. Because I know the people that go to my gym, like, I people watch while I'm at the gym, and yeah, it's the same people that consistently go. And yeah, I'm not interested with that. And I really want to build myself a career that, hopefully makes that hole that I'm trying to fill full. Because even if I don't have anybody, I have that, evidence to myself. I've managed to do this, Hence why I'm doing this, I'm not doing it because of the views, because the views are shit on these videos, because, I don't know, people just don't like it or something like that. But yeah, it is hard out here, and yeah, even for my mum, who is in her 50s, it's very hard. Like, it's life. It's gonna be hard. Some people it's easier, Some people have that different, mindset of, I like being alone and everything. I think I'm more of an in-between. I like my own space, but I also like interacting with people, which I probably won't at this new job and everything, because I don't have that. We just don't have that many people. So it's like, and it's not even that far from my house, so it's like I'm literally going nowhere. And I don't know what I've got to do, but something's got to happen eventually. But less of the melancholy. I'll be hopefully seeing a physio about my arm soon. I'll let you know what happens with that. But yeah, hopefully that sorts itself, because yeah. And to all those who are celebrating Easter, happy Easter, because it'll be tomorrow and I don't publish tomorrow. So yeah. Anyway, thanks for watching. I really do appreciate the time of your day, and I hope you have a good rest of your day whenever you're watching this, and I will see you the next one. Please like and subscribe if you like this sort of content, and I'll see you in the next one.